The next topic is about the 22nd vow of Amida Buddha. We especially scheduled this vow today because it might be a long explanation.
Well, there are many pages, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see.
The 22nd vow is also connected with the second section of the larger sutra, where Kosho Sensei already explained the two types of bodhisattvas, and where he explained the enlightened bodhisattvas activities.
Yes.
This is also related with the 22nd vow.
The answer to this question, the 22nd vow, can be found in page 220 of the larger sutra commentary. It's a thorough explanation. It's quite long, so that's why we saved this for today. Okay, so for those of you who are studying along with me, go to page 220 from the larger sutra commentary. Okay, so returning from the Pure Land, explanation of the 22nd vow. First of all, I will rate the 22nd vow. If when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in the Buddha lands of the other directions who come and are born in my land should not ultimately and unfailingly reach the stage of becoming a Buddha after one more life, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Accepted are those who wish to teach and guide sentient beings in accordance with their original vows. For they wear the armor of great vows, accumulate merits, deliver all beings from birth and death, visit Buddha lamps to perform the bodhisattva practices, make offerings to Buddha Tathagatas throughout the 10 directions, enlighten and uncountable sentient beings as numerous as the sands of the river Ganges, and establish them in the highest perfect enlightenment. Such bodhisattvas transcend the course of practice of the ordinary bodhisattva stages and actually cultivate the virtues of Samantabhadra. That is the 22nd vow of Amida Buddha. Okay, so first of all, this passage requires let's say a detailed explanation, because sometimes there is some misunderstanding about enlightened bodhisattvas and ordinary bodhisattvas. And remember that in one of the first questions of Jodo Sensei in this ordination exam, we examine the difference between ordinary bodhisattvas in aspiration and enlightened bodhisattvas. So remember, let's do a quick reminder. What is a bodhisattva in aspiration? It's an ordinary person, such as ourselves, who have the aspiration towards attainment of Buddhahood. Okay, so an ordinary person who still is not enlightened and is walking the path towards enlightenment. This applies to ordinary guys until bodhisattvas in the 10 bhumi, yeah, who are on the verge, yes, of enlightenment, but are still not Buddhas. Okay, they are practicing still. Okay, but enlightened bodhisattvas, for example, like Avalokiteshvara, Maitreya, Manjushri, for example, and there are many others, or Samantabhadra, who are actually Buddhas who manifest themselves as bodhisattvas. Yes, for example, Avalokiteshvara is not a student. Yes, he is actually an enlightened being manifesting himself as a servant or as a friend or as a helper, assistant of Amida Buddha. Yes. The same goes for Manjushri. He's actually a Buddha, and this is explained in many Mahayana sutras. Yes, if you have doubts about this, you can go to the explanations of sections 2 in this larger sutra commentary, or the section on the audience of the larger sutra, where Jodo Sensei gives many quotes from the Mahayana sutras, in which he explains that actually these bodhisattvas are not ordinary bodhisattvas, but enlightened bodhisattvas. Yes, Buddhas manifesting themselves as bodhisattvas. Okay, so remember, enlightened beings can choose to manifest as many things. Yeah, they can manifest as an ordinary person, they can manifest as a Buddha, they can manifest as a bodhisattva, they can manifest even as a dog, if it comes to be necessary. He can manifest in any fashion, in any manner. that is for the benefit of sentient beings. Okay, so Buddhas, only Buddhas know, this is up to them, when it's necessary to manifest in certain ways. Okay. Okay, so this is very important to understand. So in this vow, and I'm doing like a brief summary before I go into detail, in this vow, it is explained that Buddhas, or the correct interpretation of this vow is that sentient beings, once they are born in the center of the Pure Land through the gate of the 18th vow, okay, they will attain Buddhahood. And once they attain Buddhahood, they can choose to manifest as a Buddha or as an enlightened Bodhisattva, yes? Or as any way in which is for the benefit of sentient beings, okay? So let's go to page here, and I will start to go into detail about this. Page 221 from the larger sutra commentary. You will see the passage of the larger sutra that fulfills this 22nd vow is this. And the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, said to Ananda, all the bodhisattvas of the land of Amidaji will ultimately attain the stage of becoming a Buddha after one more life. Excepted are those who have made original vows for the sake of sentient beings, resolving to cultivate the merit of realizing their great vows to save all sentient beings. Okay? So in this case, the meaning of this great vow, as Joshua Sensei says here, are that those who enter the Pure Land through the gate of faith, the gate of the primal vow, and who ultimately attain Buddhahood upon birth there, will return as enlightened bodhisattvas to lead all beings to enlightenment by continually playing in various universes the same role Shakyamuni had and Maitreya will have in our universe, and or by using other methods in accordance with the general bodhisattva vows and their specific vows and wishes. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so once beings are born through the gate of the primal vow, not through the gate of the 20th or 19th vow, which leads to the borderland, but if you are born through the 18th vow, you attain instant enlightenment in the presence of Amida Buddha in the center of the Pure Land. And once you do so, yes, you will lead eternally beings to enlightenment through many different ways. Yes, you can play the role of Shakyamuni Buddha. Yes, you can play the role of other Buddha in many parts of the universe, but you can also play the role of a student. You can also play the role of a bodhisattva. You can play also, as you will have the ability to emanate countless nirmanakaya bodies throughout the universe, then you can also play the role of a student or an assistant to all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, okay? And remember that all Buddhas in the 10 directions have actually helped us in many eons of past lives to entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha, okay? So we are also, through gratitude, and also because we want to help them, okay, and be of service to them, we can also help them in their various Dharma missions and activities, yes? And of course, since we attain enlightenment through the gate of the primal vow, we also have a very special connection with Amida Buddha. And actually, all Buddhas in the 10 directions preach the primal vow as the utmost and most effective teaching of the Mahayana. Yes, so this is very important for us to understand. Not all the time Buddhas choose to manifest themselves as Buddhas, because sometimes it is not necessary, sometimes it is not in accordance with the times, sometimes it is better to manifest as a Bodhisattva, as whatever.
You mean like you mean to manifest like Shakyamuni? Like a Buddha who comes in human form.
Yes, and who openly preaches the Dharma, no? Yes, I mean, you can as an enlightened being, they can choose to do that. Yes, and this is explained in the larger sutra. Remember that it says there that all these great enlightened bodhisattva, they repeat the same story of Shakyamuni Buddha in various world systems. Yes, and they make the magical display, let's say, of pretending to attain enlightenment for the sake of others. Yes, or Shakyamuni Buddha, and this happens also for all Buddhas. they also manifest in various ways to help sentient beings. Okay, so it is extremely important to know that when you attain enlightenment in Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, you attain the 3 Buddha bodies. Yes, and remember the Dharmakaya that all Buddhas share. Yes, the Sambhogakaya that will be the eternal body, yes, of glory that will always reside in the Pure Land, and then Nirmanakaya, yes, which is the capacity to emanate countless bodies of accommodation towards various parts of the universe. So, for example, when you are born in Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, so you will have the Dharmakaya that is shared by all Buddhas, that is beyond names and form. You will have that Sambhogakaya body, yes, eternally in the Pure Land for the sake of serving others. And from that Sambhogakaya, you will emanate a countless Nirmanakaya bodies to various parts of the universe. So you can be in one universe manifesting as a Buddha. At the same time, you can be manifesting as a Bodhisattva in this other place. At the same time, you can be manifesting as an ordinary being here. And you can do many things that are beyond our comprehension, because this is beyond space and time. So it's very difficult to comprehend. But the thing to bear in mind or to focus on is to realize that once you attain these 3 Buddha bodies, you will be able to help sentient beings beyond the confines or beyond the limitations of space and time, which is very difficult for us to imagine because we are now samsaric beings and we are bound by time and space. Yes, but in the Pure Land, you will not be bound by time and space, and you will have perfect wisdom and compassion, and you will have the capacity to lead sentient beings in accordance to their various inclinations. Okay, so remember, once you attain enlightenment in the Pure Land, you will behave such as Manjushri, as Avalokiteshvara, yes, as Maitreya, and you'll be like an enlightened Bodhisattva who can play the role of a Buddha, like Shakyamuni Buddha, yes, who openly taught the Dharma to gods and to men, yes. But you can also play the role of being a student, an ordinary guy, or whatever is useful for the benefit of sentient beings. Okay, as Yosho Sensei says here in page 223, he says, so again, the stage of becoming a Buddha after one more life, that is expressed in the 22nd vow, represents the capacity of those who attain Buddhahood in the Pure Land to endlessly manifest themselves in various places in the universe and become active Buddhas, there for the sake of sentient beings. Yes, so this stage of becoming a Buddha after one more life means the capacity to manifest enlightenment for the sake of others, yes, whenever it is necessary. So when we are born in the Pure Land, we automatically gain the capacity to always play the role of becoming Buddhas and teaching the Dharma, yes? And this is explained actually by Shinran Shonin. In Shinran Shonin, in the hymns of the Pure Land, he says, those who reach the Pure Land of happiness, Sukhavati, in the Pure Land of Amida Buddha, return to this evil world of the 5 defilements, where, like the Buddha Shakyamuni, they benefit beings without limit. Okay, so here Shinran Shonin summarizes what we will do in the Pure Land. Yes, remember that when we go to the Pure Land, it's not like going on a vacation. Yes, you will go there and have a good time. This is not the paradise or the heavenly realms of the gods. You will go there to benefit others. Yes, to benefit others, because once you attain enlightenment, you will naturally feel perfect compassion and perfect wisdom. And to have perfect compassion and perfect wisdom is to be in an endless activity for the sake of other beings. And Samantabhadra, this enlightened Bodhisattva, is an enlightened being, but he also represents the endless activity of all Buddhas in the 10 directions. Yes? So Samantabhadra is not a Bodhisattva in aspiration. He's an enlightened being manifesting the role of a Buddha as a Bodhisattva, helping all sentient beings. And we will explain the 10 vows of Samantabhadra later on. Okay? So as Buddhas from the Pure Land of Amida Buddha, we will manifest ourselves as Bodhisattvas as well, if it's necessary. As Buddhas who do not remain secluded in their own enlightenment, but continually take any role and form to help beings. Okay, so remember, once we attain the Dharmakaya beyond form, we will be we will not be like inactive. No, this is a ground understanding. This is not the self-liberation of the Hinayana or Theravada. No, where you attain nirvana and you are like poof and you do nothing. No, actually in the Mahayana is the opposite. Once you attain enlightenment, you will be now active. Actually, in samsara, you were sleeping. In enlightenment, you will constantly be for the benefit of others. Okay, so you will be in constant activity, like Samantabhadra, like Avalokiteshvara, like Manjushri, an enlightened being manifesting themselves as Buddhas, as Bodhisattvas, as whatever is necessary to lead sentient beings towards the attainment of Buddhahood. Yes. And in our case, since we will be some Bodhisattvas in Sambhogakaya from the Pure Land, we will especially lead all beings towards Amida Buddha's Pure Land, like all Buddhas, but I think especially us, since our Sambhogakaya will be eternally connected to Amida Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha explains in the section 2 of the larger sutra, each of these bodhisattvas, following the virtues of Mahasattva Samantabhadra, is endowed with the immeasurable practices and vows of the bodhisattva path and firmly dwells in all the meritorious deeds. And also the 22nd vow says, let's remember, such bodhisattvas transcend the course of practice of the ordinary bodhisattva stages and actually cultivate the virtues of Samantabhadra. So what is the conclusion for this? Yes, are these bodhisattvas in aspiration or are these enlightened bodhisattvas? These are enlightened bodhisattvas. Why? Because it is clearly explained here by Shakyamuni Buddha. Such bodhisattvas transcend the course of practice of the ordinary bodhisattva stages. That means that they are not in any of these stages, but they manifest these stages. They are above all of them, and they manifest all of the virtues of the Buddhas for the sake of benefiting others. Yes? So the 22nd vow clearly mentions that bodhisattvas of the Pure Land are not ordinary bodhisattvas, but enlightened bodhisattvas. Yes? And this makes a lot of sense. If you read the 48 vows of Amida Buddha, you will realize that all of these great bodhisattvas in the center of the Pure Land are behaving in a perfect manner. They are constantly preaching the Dharma. They have perfect wisdom, perfect eloquence, perfect compassion. They manifest enlightenment. They can lead beings towards enlightenment. Okay? So what are those activities like? These are the activities of Buddhahood. Yeah, nothing more. Yes. So some people get confused with this is the word bodhisattva. They say, oh, but these are bodhisattvas, not Buddhas. No, but actually remember that in Mahayana we have enlightened bodhisattvas and ordinary bodhisattvas. Those in the Pure Land are enlightened bodhisattvas. This is very important distinction. And many people nowadays get confused.
Active Buddhas. Enlightened bodhisattvas are active Buddhas who take various forms and roles in order to guide beings. Yes.
Yes, in that sense, yeah. I mean, the activities of enlightened beings can be in many ways. Yes. Okay. So that is why this 22nd vow expresses that they will manifest as Buddhas and they can also manifest as bodhisattvas. So they will be in endless activities for the benefit of others. No. So let's take a look at the 4 great main bodhisattva vows as expressed in the Mahayana. Yes. So. The first is, no matter how perfect a Buddha would be, I vow to become like him. Yes. Second, no matter how profound the Dharma, the teaching would be, I vow to fully understand it all. No matter how numerous the passions would be, I vow to conquer them all. And 4, no matter how numerous the beings are, no matter how numerous the beings would be, I vow to save them all. Okay, so ask yourself, what is the only way to fulfill these 4 vows? Is to attain enlightenment. Yes, because if you don't attain enlightenment, you cannot lead sentient beings towards enlightenment. Yes, if you don't become enlightened, you won't conquer all your blind passions. Yes, if you don't vow to become like a Buddha, then you cannot become a Buddha. Okay, so the only way to fulfill these 4 great vows is to attain enlightenment, Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. And the 10 vows or pledges of Samantabhadra that are mentioned in this are the following. First is to pay homage and respect to all Buddhas. Second is to praise all Buddhas. Third is to make abundant offerings, give generously. Fourth, to repent misdeeds and evil karmas. 5, to rejoice in others' merits and virtues. 6, to request the Buddhas to continue teaching. 7, to request the Buddhas to remain in the world. 8, to follow the teachings of the Buddhas at all times. 9, to accommodate and benefit all beings, and 10, to transfer all merits and virtues to benefit all beings. So then again, ask yourself, what is the only way to fulfill all of these great vows? To constantly be in accordance with the Dharma, yes, to accommodate and benefit all sentient beings. The only way for you to fulfill these 10 great vows is to become a Buddha yourself, yes? So this is another clue that is telling you that from the 22nd vow is actually talking about the same category of beings. So it's not talking like one category of beings will be Buddhas and the other will be Bodhisattvas. Yeah, this is wrong understanding. According to Jodo Shinshu, and here it is explained by Yosho Sensei very clearly, actually these are the same types of beings. Because once you enter the center of the Pure Land through the gate of the primal vow, you can choose to manifest as a Buddha, as a Bodhisattva, and actually at the same time, you can be a Bodhisattva and a Buddha, because remember that Nirmanakaya bodies, once you attain the 3 Buddha bodies, it will enable you to manifest yourself in different ways at the same time, okay? So you can be manifesting as a Buddha in one world system, and you at the same time you could be manifesting as an enlightened Bodhisattva here, and here as a human being. So you can be in many places at the same time doing various activities for the sake of saving others. Yeah? And this is, of course, beyond our comprehension, okay? So remember that the term original here is very important, yes? Because sometimes when people hear the term original vows, they think that, this is something particular or specific about each enlightened being, and this is not true. Actually, all bodhisattvas of the Mahayana, yes, and all enlightened bodhisattvas and all Buddhas have this same 4 great Mahayana vows, and they all practice the 10 virtues of Samantabhadra, yes? When they say original vows, it means the vows of the Mahayana. And of course, each Buddha may have different ways to fulfill those, but the essence of them is the same. Maybe, for example, I don't know, Padmasambhava has one Pure Land, Medicine Master Buddha has another Pure Land, but all of those, even if they have different particular vows to help beings in different ways, they have the same essence. They have the same original vows of the Mahayana as their essence. And this is the most important thing. But since we are going to Amida Buddha's Pure Land, not through our own merit, but by the merit of Amida Buddha, then our Sambhogakaya bodies will have the characteristics of the vows of Amida Buddha, okay? Because remember that in our case, we will attain enlightenment not through our own merit, but through the merit transference of Amida Buddha. So that is the difference, yes? Okay, let me try to quote. This is a beautiful passage from Master Tan Luan, and this is quoted by Shinran Shonin. Master Tan Luan is the 3rd patriarch of Jodo Shinshu, no? He's from China. He says, directing virtue for return to this world means that after being born in that land and gaining the power of compassionate means, one returns and enters the thick forest of birth and death, teaches and guides all sentient beings, and brings all to enter the Buddha way together. Yes? So as Yosho Sensei says here, this is a very poetic way to express this in the sutras and shastras, is to enter the forest, to play in the forest of birth and death. What is this? Is that for enlightened beings, samsara doesn't exist as such, okay? So when you attain enlightenment, you will realize that that everything in samsara is empty of itself, yes? And since you will dwell in your natural Buddha nature, you will always be happy wherever you are. Even you can go to Avicii hell and you will not feel a thing, because for you that doesn't affect you. Why? Because you dwell in your Buddha nature, so it doesn't affect you. You are always dwell in compassion, in wisdom, and in the Dharmakaya beyond all suffering and beyond all limitations. So naturally, a Buddha can enter into samsara and it doesn't affect him in the least, and he is happy to help. Yes, he actually enjoys helping others. This is the joy, or the great joy of the Buddhas, is to help others. Yes, So this is very important to understand. So that when you attain enlightenment in the Pure Land, you will return to samsara and you will play in the forests of birth and death. That means that you will enjoy helping others and you will not be affected by anything inside samsara. Yes, actually that's the reason we will help them. We will have the capacity to help others because we won't be affected by samsaric phenomena and by samsaric mental states. Okay, so this is very important. Because I'm mentioning this because many people, when they read all of these great deeds, so for example, Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva who goes to hell, and people say, oh, you go to hell, maybe you will burn yourself, you can hurt yourself, or this is dangerous. No, but for Buddhas it's not dangerous because they always dwell in Buddha nature, you know? So for them is not a problem, okay? For us it's a problem because we are still samsaric beings, but for Buddhas not anymore, yes? Let me read another beautiful passage here. Yes, another beautiful passage. Let me find it. This is also from Shinran Shonin in the Hymns of the Pure Land. He says, when sentient beings, if we attain the land of bliss, will awaken great love and great compassion, and going throughout the 10 quarters or the 10 directions will benefit sentient beings. The supreme perfect compassion of Buddhas is referred to by the name of the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. So again, Bodhisattva Samantabhadra is and represents or incarnates, you know, the eternal love and compassion of Buddhas for all beings, the eternal activity of Buddhas, okay? So the mention of the 22nd vow of Samantabhadra reveals what is the essence of the 22nd vow, yes? That when we will go to the Pure Land, we will be in eternal activity for the benefit of others, yes? As a Buddha or as a Bodhisattva, or at the same time, both. Why not? Because you will have the capacity to manifest both at the same time. Yes. So this is very important. I don't know. Maybe Yosho Sensei wants to correct me or add something else, or maybe or you Dharma friends, if you want to say something.
Oh, so I just ask you guys to. After you see this video, this very good presentation of Kosho Sensei, to also go to the chapter that will be presented in the links of this video teaching, to the chapter related to the 22nd vow, and read all those passages and all those detailed explanation. So combine hearing this video teaching with the reading of the chapter so that you can see all the details. So basically this vow means that after you go to the Pure Land, you attain Buddhahood and you will manifest as an enlightened bodhisattva. That is, you can play the role of Shakyamuni Buddha in 10,000 universes, for example. You can go there and pretend that you are not enlightened, that you attain enlightenment, and then you can turn the wheel of Dharma, teach various Dharma methods, and also teach about Amida Buddha. Or in the same time, in another universe, you can be the husband of somebody or the wife of somebody else and guide them to the Dharma. Perhaps it is your former one of the former friends or former wife who didn't attain Buddhahood. Or you can be manifest as a poor dog to help others create karmic connection with you, or to help them create karmic merits by feeding you, by petting you. Or you can pretend to be the disciple of somebody, or be that teacher, or be a teacher in a different world. You can do whatever you want. You are a Buddha, but in the same time you can play the role of enlightened bodhisattvas, because actually Buddhas are also enlightened bodhisattvas. Enlightened bodhisattvas are Buddhas. Enlightened bodhisattvas are active Buddhas. That is, Buddhas who don't remain secluded in their own enlightenment. This is an enlightened bodhisattva. Buddhas like to play various roles and assume various roles, and so they go to many places and take many forms. Okay.
Yeah, yes, Sensei.
You never know who is a Buddha, who is an enlightened one, or a returner from the Pure Land. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yes, Sensei.
It's a lot of fun to be a Buddha in the Pure Land of Amida. You can do
Yes.
whatever you want.
Yes, that is why Buddhas in the statues, they are always like smiling, or they feel so chill because they are enjoying
Yes.
what they do, I think.
Yes, and they are great actors. They are great actors. They can pretend to be many
Yes, Sensei.
things just to help you, just you, only to help only one, to help only one person in the entire samsaric universe or universes. A Buddha can play many roles just to help one single person. You see, if you go to hell, for example, a Buddha will come there and manifest as a hell dweller, a colleague of yours perhaps, and pretend that he says Nembutsu and he's saved and escapes from hell, just to make you, to help you copy his example. Or he can help you remember some good deeds that you did in the past, so that you can make another good connection, or things like
Yes,
that.
yes, actually, the Buddhist history is filled with such beautiful examples, no? Like, for example, one Zen master called Master Empty Cloud, he once in a pilgrimage to Manjushri mountain, and he fell ill, and he almost died. And suddenly a mysterious old guy came and took care of him and gave him medicine for 1 week. He took care of him. And when he wake up, he had vanished. And in one dream, he said that it was Manjushri. So they can do things like that, you know.
Yes, or you can't even realize. Perhaps somebody smiles at you in the train or the subway. And that smile, it's very important for you because it makes you realize, oh, there is still some good in this world, or it makes your day. It makes you feel good in that day. You never know where a Buddha appears, But yes, so if you ask yourself, where are the Buddhas? Well, they are everywhere. You just don't have eyes to see them. Don't have enlightened eyes to see them. And they can't always manifest clearly and publicly like Shakyamuni, because the karma of beings in our era is not suitable for such public appearance now. So this is why they choose hidden ways, various ways to help us. Yes. Okay.